All right, Jared, can you go ahead and talk? Let's do a sound check. Make sure we're Golden Goose good to go, bro.
Yeah, sound check is good. We are functioning. Yeah, sound check is good. We are functioning.
All right, I'm getting feedback, which means we can hear it.
Yeah, I can hear you twice on my end. We are. Yeah, I can hear you twice on my end.
Holy shit, what is going on here now?
Yeah, now I can hear myself.
Okay, there we go. All right, I think I've got it figured out now. Boom. We are now Golden Goose good to go. That is an audio test if you've ever seen one. Welcome to the Aggressive Pacifist. I am Harrison. On the other end of the screen, the beautiful, the Golden Goose, the good to go, Gilly. Gilly, do we get to see you tonight, or are we looking at Guile all night?
You're gonna look at Guile for a little while because I need to pour a beer
You're
and also
pouring
monitor
beer.
so that we are actually Golden Goose good to go. Because if we have a malfunction, I want to make sure that I can check that out as soon as it happens. And emphasize it.
Pour your beer, and we're going to go ahead. We'll move on anyhow. So tonight we are going to talk to you about economics, and we're going to talk to you about aliens, and we're going to talk to you about homelessness, and we're going to talk to you about the homelessness aliens and the homeless aliens and the economics of homeless aliens. And then who knows where else it'll go. You, as the audience, kind of determine where this will go. And where you should go right now is trovo.live /freespeechmedia. And I say Larry Sharp just went live. And do you know what that means? That means you're in the wrong place if you're watching Larry Sharp. You should be over here. All 38 of you there, you're wrong. You should be here. We miss you. Come on home where you should be. So here on the Aggressive Pacifist, we like to talk about some important things, some real things, and then we like to have fun with it. Jared, Gilly, whatever the hell you want to go by when you go by it, how are you tonight, and what are we talking about? And do you want to go ahead and kickstart us off?
So I'm doing wonderful for a nice cold Monday, snowy Monday here in Maine. And tonight we are talking about a couple things. We're talking about economics. We're talking about a brief inquiry into the causes and solutions surrounding homelessness. And we're talking about aliens, which is a subject I am not super.
I'm sorry you couldn't hear it, but on this end of the screen, I was being poisoned by one of Hillary Clinton's spies, and I was almost choking to death. So I apologize that I missed that segue there. But
No,
yeah.
You're fine.
So actually, this is inspired by a recent booklet I put out. If you go on Amazon, you search my name, Harrison Kemp, you will find this book. It's called A Brief Inquiry into the Causes and Solutions Surrounding Homelessness. You can also find it on harrisonkemp.com. Wicked easy to find. So what we're going to do is basically just talk about it a little bit. Talk about what causes homelessness, why it persists, what leads to unemployment, because unemployment is a big reason people are homeless. And every time my heater goes off, I think my apartment's getting broken into. So, Jared, what would you say is kind of the place to start on this, if you would? Where should we start with this?
Well, one of the biggest causes of economic crisis, or an economy leading to an influx in homelessness, would be the more rules and regulations you put on an economy to a mandated increase of the minimum wage. That's going to kill jobs. That's going to allow people to have their hours cut, and it's going to make the average Joe, you and I, less money in the long run. So if you're making less money, or if your position is terminated because your employer can no longer afford to pay you due to a mandated increase, well, that doesn't help anybody, because that puts you out of work, it gets your position simplified, or simply your supervisor then has to do the job of 5 people because they can't afford to pay the 5 people who were working there initially, let's say $15 an hour, when they were making 850 beforehand. It's just simply not lucrative for what that position holds. So by terminating their income altogether, they haven't helped anything. They've hurt the average guy, and they've hurt the economy, because instead of the average guy making 850, he's not making 15 because his position was cut. So that guy who was making 850 now is not going out and spending money in the economy to help boost the economy. He has no money to spend, thus he's a poor consumer at this point in time. Regulated out of taking a little bit less money to go make some money at all. I don't feel like that's a lucrative.
That don't require them to pay them more. There are a lot of things employers do to sweeten the pot, as it were, that don't manifest itself as money in your paycheck. Think of your health care, your 401k. If you have some type of meal package at work, those are all perks that they throw in to sweeten the package, to sweeten the pie, as it were, that aren't directly money. They are valuable. Otherwise, you wouldn't want them. You would say, no, give me money. Otherwise, you would find some way to work around that. But they're trading it with you. So, yeah. Now, one thing that, for instance, is a real issue when talking about homelessness is the minimum wage. and how the minimum wage itself has kind of caused an issue where people can't get into the labor market in the first place. You know, maybe they have been out of the labor market for a while. Let's say they're a homeless person, which is what this booklet is about. The odds are, if somebody's homeless, they've been unemployed for a while. They probably don't have access to clean clothes that often. They probably don't get to shower or bathe that often. So, you know, and if that's not true for that individual, it is true often enough that employers, there's a stigma, or, and they look at the homeless person and they say, ah, no, you're going to be a strain on the company culture. We don't want you. So what do? We say, okay, if that person can't get hired at $12 an hour, at $15 an hour, because that's minimum wage, we allow them to waive their right to a minimum wage, their quote unquote right. So what does this do? Well, this allows more people the access to the labor market. And I know there's a lot of people who are probably going to hear this and go, oh, well, you can't allow employers to pay people $1 an hour or $5 an hour. They can't live on that. Well, guess what? They're not living right now on anything. They're begging for change on the street. You know, so would you rather them be self-sufficient and have the tools and learn the skills so that they can make more money and end up supporting themselves more efficiently than they currently can? Or would you rather them stay on the street begging? I mean, those are really the two choices that you have. And Gilly, go ahead and comment on that. Oh, because I wasn't on the Zoom call. Go ahead and talk now.
So audio is good, yes or no?
Jesus Christ. All right, are you there?
Yes. Audio is functional.
Oh, because I wasn't on the Zoom call. Go ahead and talk now. Gilly, are you there? According to Zoom, you're there.
According to
Son
Zoom,
of a
I'm here. According
bitch.
to me, I'm here.
I'm done.